allowed to come together now and they get married, then that means they have a shared sibling. So it makes it very complicated, right? Even though they were not given birth to by the same father or mother, but they have a shared sibling. So it makes it very, very complicated, right? And then in the case where there is no sibling in between them, then does it make it any different? Okay, let's take on the last few opinions as we round up at this time. Let's listen to this person.
Good afternoon, ma'am. This is David calling from Warrington. About this tradition, this culture still exists even to date, as in till now that I'm talking to you, in parts of some places in Nigeria, even in Benue State. So much know about it. But the reason why they practice this culture is because when a lady marries to a particular family, then maybe the woman have like 2 or 3 picking, and suddenly maybe her husband passed away. So they don't allow the lady to go with his children, or maybe they don't allow the lady to take those children away. So that is why they introduce that culture, so that the lady will still to take care of those children. That is why they introduce that culture. So that is why it's born.
Okay, thank you for the contribution. Chima from Apo said, good afternoon, Her Vocal Majesty. I will not support such marriage. It is like a son marrying an adopted child in the family. It is not love they have for each other, but lust. Morally, it is not justified. The parents should not consent to such marriage. That's what Shima opines this afternoon. This one said, my question is very simple. Who will stand or sit as their parents on the wedding day? Elder Olatuja Richard from Mushafa. That's your concern. Who's sitting as parents? That's also another thing, you know, because they say, okay, the father of the bride, the mother of the bride. Well, the other partners, remember, this is just one man and one woman coming together. Okay, they have other spouses, the ex-spouse of the man, okay, and the ex-spouse of the woman. So the father, the boy has a different father, and the girl has, you know, also a different mother, okay, because she is, both of them have other parents apart from this father and mother that they share together, or who have come together to marry themselves. Okay, thank you so much, guys. I think we did justice to this one. I hope this family is able to sort this issue out and they're able to make a headway. At the end of the day, you know, sometimes when your parents are solidly against something, it's voice of reason and it's wisdom to listen to them. They may not make sense at that moment, but if they are vehemently opposing something, it's good that you don't fight them, but rather just take a moment to understand where they're coming from, their concerns, and try to reason it out with them, you know, presenting your own point of view. And if they insist, then just let it be, right? I mean, that's just one thing. Honor for parents is very key in the society which we live in and in life generally. It goes a long way at helping. I mean, I know sometimes parents don't seem reasonable. They just don't see things from where you're coming from. But when you fight them too, sometimes it comes with its own consequences at the end of the day. Like someone said, there are so many other spouses. I mean, we have 8 million people on the face of the earth. You can go meet somebody else outside of your client, you know, in different places you can meet them. Why are you insisting on that, especially if the parents are against it? I mean, some might say there's nothing wrong. Yes, there might be, but if the relatives or the people involved are seeing something fundamentally wrong, then why fight it? I don't know. I mean, people have their own opinions and they have their own thoughts, but I guess it's good we give a listening ear and also consider the general well-being of the family, because some things just crush and destroy a family, you know, no matter how insignificant or whether you think it's not a big deal, it might just begin to destroy the very fabrics of that family, you know. So these are things that need to be thought out very carefully, and I hope and pray for a very amicable resolving of this issue. This one just came in.
Hello, Swat. Good afternoon. This is Stella from Otako. Well, to me, it is not good. It is wrong. because they are stepbrothers and sisters. So it is wrong. Okay, tomorrow, if the two parents happen to have a child, they will, when they will be referring to those children as see my stepsister, see my stepbrother. You're also marrying yourselves. So to me, it's wrong. It's wrong. When one of my brother wanted to do that while we were growing up, I don't know, all of a sudden he started liking me. I felt so irritated. In fact, I warned him, if you come near me again, I don't want. Get out. Go out there. You have people. So to me, it's so wrong. Please, so wrong. Thank you and welcome on board.
All right, thank you. All right, that's it for this segment. Let's take a quick musical break and come back for the next.
It's all talk
Back. Yes, let's take a look at some international stories. First, it is the coup in Benin Republic that was filled. You know, you saw, I don't know how many of you saw the Interior Minister, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Benin Republic, speaking to the citizens, you know, to carry on with their business because some of the soldiers that wanted to commit mutiny were foiled. Their attempt was foiled by some soldiers who chose to remain Republican and patriotic in nature. And so they saved the whole day. And so that coup did not hold the way it was supposed to. Initially, the thought was like the government has been toppled. And at the end of the day, we got to understand that, well, it just did not happen like that, you know. And so it is what it is. And it's, do we say, a victory for democracy in Benin Republic, even though there are reports of gross violation of human rights and so many other abnormalities in that nation, as it is with so many other African countries, including Nigeria, where leadership, you know, is often criticized based on what is on ground. You know, you get to see the rising rate of poverty, you get to see a rising rate of illiteracy, lack that is so prevalent, and leaders wanting to just hold on to power. In fact, in the case of this president, he is touted to have changed the constitution to allow for more time. And so you just keep wondering every time this sort of stories come up, why African leaders always want to thwart and, you know, tamper with the democratic process by changing constitution illegally to suit them and wanting to sit on and hold on to power without much changes, positive changes, so to speak. If anything, you get to see the changes on the negative side of the divide and all. Okay, so President Bola Tinubu yesterday commended the gallantry of Nigeria's military for responding swiftly to the request by government of the Benin Republic to save its 35-year-old democracy from coup plotters who struck at dawn yesterday. A statement by his special advisor to the President, Information and Strategy, that is Bayo Onanuga, said the federal government, acting on two separate requests from the government of Benin Republic, President Tinubu first ordered Nigerian Air Force fighter jets to enter the country and take over the airspace to help dislodge the coup plotters from the national TV and a military camp where they had regrouped. The presidency said the Republic of Benin, through its Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in a note, verbal, requested immediate Nigerian air support in view of the urgency and seriousness of the situation and to safeguard the constitution order, protect national institutions, and ensure the security of the population. In the second request, authorities in Benin Republic requested the deployment of Nigerian Air Force assets within Beninoa airspace for surveillance and rapid intervention operation under Benin-led coordination. Calling this name is a bit dicey sometimes. You want to say Benin. Okay, the Benin government also requested Nigerian ground forces strictly for missions approved by the Beninese Command Authority in support of the protection of constitutional institutions and the containment of armed groups. Nigerian's Chief of Defense Staff General Olufemi Oluyede said all the requests have been fulfilled, with Nigerian ground forces now in Benin Republic. He said ours is to comply with the order of the Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces, President Tinubu. Now, constitutional order was appended in the Republic of Benin, Nigeria's neighbor, when some soldiers led by Colonel Pascal Tigri announced a coup on Sunday morning. The pushes seized national TV and claimed they had toppled President Patrice Talon and suspended all democratic institutions. And it took some hours before the government loyal forces, assisted by Nigeria, took control and flushed out the coup plotters from national TV. In his remarks after the restoration of the democratic and constitutional order, President Tinubu saluted the Nigerian Armed Forces for standing firm as a protector and defender of democracy. Shedding light on the coup attempt, Benin Foreign Minister Olusegun Ajadi Bakari and Minister of Interior Alassane Saido said in separate interviews that the coup plotters had taken control of state TV and the signal had been cut for several minutes. A group of soldiers led by Lieutenant Colonel Pascal Tigri, who is now on the run, made a broadcast saying they had ousted President Patrice Talon and suspended the constitution. The group, which labeled itself the Military Committee for Refoundation, announced the removal of the president and all political office holders and dissolution of all democratic institutions. The soldiers leading the attempted coup justified their action by criticizing President Talon's management of the country. Okay, they said the army solemnly commits to give the Beninese people the hope of a truly new era where fraternity, justice, and work prevail. A statement read by one of the soldiers said, and confirming the attempt earlier in the day, the French embassy in Benin Republic said gunfire was reported near the residence of the president in the main city of Cotonou, which is the seat of government. Eyewitnesses, according to the BBC, also reported that they had heard gunshots and that some journalists working for the state broadcast organization were held hostage. Okay, but speaking hours after the attempted coup, the Interior Minister, Alassane Saido, urged the people to go about their businesses, saying soldiers loyal to the state have regained power. And this came after the presidency insisted in the morning that Talon was safe and assured that loyal guards would regain control of the government. And thankfully, they have done that, because this would have marked an alarming number of coup d'etats in West Africa. The other day we were talking about it, and my thought on this is that it's an indictment on the leadership in Africa, where we're having this number of coups, especially in the West African region. In the last couple of years, we've experienced so many coups that it's now raising the question of leadership as to why the military are feeling compelled to come and take over and save the day. If you listen to the things they say, it might not be sincere, but most times coup often comes as a result of a large dissatisfaction, growing dissatisfaction of the people in any state. And so, the military often come in as saviors, but at the end of the day, are they really saviors, or do they worsen the situation? Let's take this commercial break and come back.
GIG Logistics, where did they stop this Christmas?
This festive season, no just a package anyhow. Whether na customer items or gifts for your people inside Nigeria, GIG Logistics, they're ready. Shipping, e-commerce services, mailroom services, warehousing, and plenty more. Oh yeah, now make you tanana 0813-985-1120 or email info@giglogistics.com. GIG Logistics, we the deliver.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on this website: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng to report any suspicions of illicit financial activities emergencies, call CBN 0817-665-7060, SAC 0209-462-1168, 0916-772-3240. Announcer, FSRCC.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Welcome back to the sunny side with Swat.
So yes, we are looking at that situation that happened in Benin Republic that had Nigerian government send in fighter jets, to foil that coup attempt that was made in Benin Republic. And when that happened and the news came on board, it sort of sparked conversation and questions among Nigerians as to whether President Bola Tinubu had the legal right to deploy fighter jets into a neighboring country. Remember that we had our own case where the U.S. government was threatening to do the same thing into our land, but in their own case, their own threat was to come in and fight Boko Haram, whom they allege, and other terrorist group who are carrying on with the business of a Christian genocide in Nigeria. But in this case, it was mutiny. It was a treasonable offense that was being carried out. Nigeria's fighter jets took over the Beninois airspace after a group of soldiers calling themselves the Military Committee for Refoundation appeared on the national television and claiming to have seized power and removed President Patrice Talon. And so, just like we learned from the presidential spokesperson, that singular act was not carried out by Nigeria on its own, but it was acting based on a request that was placed across to Nigeria from the Beninois, officials, and the president, commander-in-chief of the armed forces, actually gave that order. And the chief of defense staff said, well, who are we not to obey orders? After all, that's what we live for. That's what we exist. We obey the orders of the commander-in-chief. And so we saw Nigerian fighter jets deployed into that country. And the coup collapsed within hours, with authorities confirming that 13 soldiers, including the masterminds, were arrested. But as news of Nigeria's involvement spread, social media claims allege that President Tinubu bombed Benin on the orders of French President Emmanuel Macron, who was reported to have spoken with Nigeria's president earlier on Sunday. Okay? But contrary to that, like I first started with the story of the presidential spokesperson, Bayo Onanuga, said the federal government said that it acted strictly on Benin Republic's official request for immediate military support. And these things do happen. Countries reach out to other countries and ask for assistance in a case where they feel overwhelmed. And that's why the issue of, foreign mercenaries sometimes come in the conversation of Nigeria fighting insecurity. If Nigerian forces, some people opine, are overwhelmed, then there is room for asking for help. I mean, we've seen collaborations militarily or in the defense sector in some instances where this country will say, well, they will lend some sort of support, whether with arms, whether with personnel to train, and so on and so forth. These are some of the collaborations that are quite allowed. But, waltzing into a sovereign nation and taking over the airspace or the water space and the land is not allowed, because that is violating the sovereignty. And I guess that was what brought about the conversation when that threat was being made on Nigeria. But with the case of Beninois or Benin Republic, it has been cleared or clarified specifically that it was based on request, which is not a new thing to be seen, in international space. Now, speaking about the French president, it was reported on Sunday, that President Bola Tinubu and his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron on Sunday held talks on security crisis facing the country, touching on areas of collaboration. The telephone conversation was held as a United States delegation comprising the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria and other top officials parleyed with Nigerian or the National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, in Abuja on the reported Christian persecution and killings in the country. In a message posted on X on Sunday, Macron said he spoke with President Tinubu and affirmed that France will strengthen its partnership with Nigerian authorities. And he said, I quote, this was what he wrote. He said, I spoke with President Tinubu of Nigeria, official, but I conveyed France's solidarity in the face of the various security challenges, particularly the terrorist threat in the north. At his, that is Tinubu's request, we will strengthen our partnership with the authorities and our support for the affected population. We call on all our partners to step up their engagement, and no one can remain a spectator. And that's what the French president added. Macron also stated that in fulfillment of Tinubu's request, his government will cooperate with the federal government to provide support for the affected population. Macron's statement follows a wave of gun attacks and kidnappings, particularly in schools and communities across northern region that have drawn international condemnation. Okay, the French leader's solidarity comes days after Tinubu swore in a new Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, with a charge to deliver quick results. So that's it. First off, Macron making that categorical statement, talking about the request made by the president to strengthen our partnership with authorities and support for affected population with terrorist attacks or terrorists attacking them, talking about mostly the northern region. But if you ask, I'm sure Nigeria generally needs whatever support that we can, from other countries who have military might to join in this fight. And that's why often Nigerians ask, why are we wasting time in deploying help or asking for help? Because there's room for it. It was clearly demonstrated by Benin Republic that asked for emergency and help, and it was granted to them immediately. Sometimes when you see the capacity of the Nigerian military force or police force when they go for international operations, you wonder why such might and power and dexterity is not often applied to the home front, especially in the fight against terrorism. Nigerian troops are often commended about their level of professionalism, the way they are able to handle issues effectively, and you see tangible results. So what happens to the home front? Why do we have some group of, unskilled men, seemingly so, who seem to defy all the odds and keep this Nigerian military on their toes? And we even have high-ranking officers like generals dying, all because of the activities of these terrorists. So it tells you that there's something fundamentally wrong, that if we can go out of the country and perform wonderfully well and wonderfully so, but in the home front, it still remains a mystery why we have not been able to defeat these people who seem bent on troubling Nigeria as a country and also put into question the sovereignty by taking over territories and even collecting taxes, performing functions that ordinarily government should do. And that's what is considered mutiny or treason, right? We have that in the country right now as it is. Because when you travel to some parts of the country, you would understand that the terrorists are collecting taxes from the people. They are really putting the citizens of Nigeria under some gruesome and gory conditions, and not much result is gotten in terms of neutralizing these people. So yeah, you try to compare some of these instances and you wonder just how soon we're going to rise up and deal decisively with terrorism on the home front. Well, if it's anything, maybe we should applaud the Nigerian military for showing just how good they are in ensuring that they helped Benin restore its democracy. And these are some of the concerns for many Africans that say, you see African leaders jump up and want to do everything to protect their political interests, anything that has to do with holding on to power. But then when it comes with the welfare of the people, we don't see equal passion being applied in deploying troops or in deploying, all the military might in order to fight it off to a standstill. Is it because it fuels something, or is it because there are some people who are gaining from this? Well, you tell me your thoughts on that. And then also to the news about fact finders coming into the country. It tells you that we're in for some reports that will come out at the end of this particular journey for the fact finders. I mean, this is totally different from what Reno Omokri tried to do with those independent fact finders that he brought into the country and who also gave their own results or what they found out at the end of their mission. This time around, in collaboration with the U.S. ambassador and all the fact finders that have come in from the U.S. government, we will await to see what the result is going to be. I mean, these are people who cannot be influenced easily by monetary gains or some influences that many people will say, okay, at the end of the day, no, we don't trust them. To some extent, I'm not wiping off corruption or tendencies of it, of people coming from that side of the world. But you can be sure that at the end of the day, we should expect a comprehensive results or report as to what they have found out in terms of acts of terrorism, the genocide claims, and all that has really been within the airspace in the last couple of days. So having said that, let's hear from you people. What are your take, or what is your take? Benin Republic, Nigeria's intervention, democracy restored as a result of the Nigerian military might that was deployed to help the Benin Republic government to be restored, their democracy to be sustained, and fact finders on ground in Nigeria. What do we expect? 0700 951 0000 and 080 9597 4869. Let me start with this caller. Hello.
Good afternoon, Barrister Swat.
Welcome.
Thank you. My name is DMT. I'm calling you in Guarimpa here in Abuja.
All right. Go ahead.
You see, Barrister Swat, it is time that Africa has to rise up and do the right thing, especially African leaders. You see this coup d'etat that is about to wipe all the West Africa. We have 15 countries in West Africa, or 16. Cameroon has left. They are in Central African Republic. Now we have 3. They are in Sahel. We just have only 12 in West Africa as the ECOWAS. I just want to advise the leaders, let them continue doing the right thing. Because this coup d'etat, to be sincere, if care is not taken the way I'm saying it, I am not a prophet of doom, but it will wipe all the West Africa. Because the leaders are not doing the right thing. And this is the time that they have to do the right thing. We cannot continue to allow the Europeans, after colonizing us for many years, and they are still coming back now with modern slavery. That is why you see some of the African countries that they call themselves Sahel within has to go out from ECOWAS because of they are tired with what the France are doing for them. And let me tell you, sincere, you can see what our soldiers did. That is why I'm telling people that our soldiers can do more than what people are expecting, because some people are saying our military, the bandits and the criminals in the forest are overpower our military. I say no. Give them the real equipment. They will work if really they want to work. And we have seen it in Benin Republic. It is time. Do you see about what they call it? Macron of France. And Swat, let me tell you, to be sincere, I'm doubting of France to come and help us, because I have seen it in the Francophonie country. France did not help them for several years.
All right.
And I don't think they will help us.
Okay.
So my take is that Tinubu has to take it to another side, not Macron, because I don't trust in him. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, GMC. Hello.
Hello, Swat.
Switch off your
Good
radio.
afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Welcome.
It's Mohammed here.
Welcome, Muhammad.
How are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
Yeah. I'm sorry. This thing is laughable. You can't stop a coup with Air Force. That's impossible. Coups, once they are out, the information is out, then the coup is over already. I mean, personally, I believe, and this is a personal thing, I believe our dear leader did it on a selfish basis. He was so scared last time when the coup in Niger occurred, when he gave them ultimatums. Basically, it is out of selfishness that they reacted so quickly. And besides, a coup, sending in Air Force, what is the Air Force really going to do? Are they going to bomb the place? No, they can't. I mean, once it was sent out, they sent out the jets, and it was already over. The coup had already been lost. That is, though, my opinion, but I think they did it on a selfish basis. That is basically it. Because it's starting to, as you said earlier, it's becoming a trend. Within West Africa, people are getting tired. The ones that can do anything about it are the military, and they are reacting. So our government is scared, is really scared of this thing happening. So they need to stop it as quickly as possible, but I don't believe they were responsible for the failure of the coup.
Okay.
That is mine.
All right.
Yep. All right. You have a nice day.
You too. You too. Thank you, Mohammed. Okay. I mean, fair enough. Let's listen to other opinions too. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Excellency Barrister Swat.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I remember I'm Mustafa Abubakar Ali Ketin. I'm calling from PW Kubwa.
Okay, welcome.
Well, kudos to the Nigerian Armed Forces for showing their might. And like you have said, Barrister Swat, a lot of things should be put into consideration. You see, why do we have increase in coup plot in West Africa, or let me say in Africa in general? It is because of those things you have said. Leaders, or let me say the politicians, continue to live large while the poor continue to get poorer. So if this continue, then coups remain inevitable. And with regards to how successful our military are outside Nigeria, as opposed to fighting the war against insurgency and insecurity within, Barrister Swat, let us be sincere. Nigerian forces have proven themselves everywhere they have gone in the world. They are tested and always they are battle ready 24/7. But the problem we have is this: we are fighting a guerrilla warfare that has internal saboteurs. I do not think when the American can win this kind of war we are fighting with ease. A war that you are fighting, that one among you will release your information that we are coming, we will pass through PW, we are currently in Zuba. How can America win that kind of war? That's why some of us have the idea that even if America is coming, they should not liaise with any government agency in Nigeria. They should take their coordinate, everything from wherever they want. Their command center should be independent. They should man their information themselves. That is how they can succeed. But if they want to share intelligence with the Nigerian government, believe me, they cannot succeed.
All right.
So that's the problem. Yes, if they can, if Nigeria want to fight, if not that they have turned this insecurity to business center, who is right back Boko Haram? Who is bandit? Those that are on train? These guys will finish them, but it's business center. If the war stop today, business center don't close. You won't close people business center.
All right.
Thank you very much for the wonderful opportunity.
Thank you. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Please switch off your radio.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. My name is KGB.
Okay.
Just like the last caller was saying, America, if they are coming, they should come. But if they are coming to work with Nigerian army or based on intelligence or work with them, it's just they can never actualize why they are here. I mean, what brought them here or why they are here. If they are coming, they should come and do the work on their own. There's no work with any Nigeria whatever security based on intelligence gathering or anything. They should come and do their work. And I wish they will come and do the work. Now, it is a clear invitation now by our government to America now that they themselves can come and rescue us as Mr. President of Nigeria carrying Nigeria Air Force. So somebody telling me maybe with this thing, Air Force you cannot truncate. It's possible, very simple. It's what the moment you take the airspace, you will have taken off the what do you call them, the queue now. So in other words, when the airspace is taken, nothing can work because they will be afraid on the ground because any good gathering or whatever can be gathered. I mean, can be bombed at any given time. And imagine, is this what arrogancy that France call you to go and do what? This type of arrogance is what Saddam Hussein displayed now in annexing what do you call them, Kuwait.
All right.
That means Nigeria can annex or have annexed Cotonou now. That is exactly what I can see it to be. In other words, what do you call it? Saddam Hussein know what happened to him when he annexed Kuwait.
All right, thank you.
Arrogancy in the highest district.
All right, thank you very much. You know, if you look at the whole thing, it looks like I don't know how to even describe it, but it's okay. So the number of coups in West African country in recent time has been quite alarming. You know, I mean, there are so many of them. To be precise, I think we have 16 West African countries, right? 16 West African countries. And since, if you look at the last 3 years, there have been 6 successful military coups in West Africa, you know, with additional attempted coups occurring within the region too. And this includes countries like Mali, Guinea, Burkina Faso, and Niger, which have significantly altered the political landscape of the region. And since, you know, I was looking at a study recently, it says that since 1990, that 21 of the 27 coups in sub-Saharan Africa have taken place in former French colonies. So what relationship or what environment can one make out of this whole stuff? You know, I don't know, but you share your thoughts with me and tell me what you think. Let me read some messages here. Good day, Swat. Igukwama texting from Kubwa. Swat, so our military has this type of power. It is well low. It's now confirmed too. Our politicians are the cause of insecurity in Nigeria. Let them continue, saying Igukwama. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, Swat. Our military is successful outside because of PADM, DSA. Also because it's no man's land. You have no religious or ethnic ties, says Damien. That's quite interesting to hear. African leaders are the cause of coup d'etat in the region because of their style of leadership. In Cameroon, Paul Biya has held on to power for decades. Opposition who were against the government were arrested and detained in prisons. Rwanda has the same problem of sit-tight government. In Ethiopia, only the incumbent president was qualified to contest for election. In Ivory Coast, it is sit-tight for President Gbagbo. In other countries, political parties are being frustrated not to field a candidate for forthcoming election. African leaders are not practicing democracy. That is why military rule is gradually coming back in the continent, says Chima from Apo. Interesting one. Thank you so much. Right. Let's see. This one is a voice note. Let's play it, then continue with more calls.
Good afternoon, Sister Swat, and happy new working week. My name is Daddy Shunamite from Gidamangoro. I am a concerned Nigerian. Talking about the coups in Benin Republic. Sister Swat, honestly speaking, I'm shocked that in the past 5 years, the Nigerian Air Force has repeatedly bombed northern Nigeria communities, calling them mistakes. Yet, they were able to successfully execute an attack in a foreign nation where they supposedly lack adequate information and understanding. This contrast raises serious questions about priorities, intelligence coordination, and national commitment. When operations outside the country are executed with precision while internal regions continue to suffer from preventable military errors, it becomes important to examine the government strategy accountability, and the unequal treatment of different regions. But we are watching. May God bless us and may God bless Nigeria.
Hey, thank you, Daddy Shunamite. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Welcome.
My name is Emeka Mingwarimpa.
Okay.
You've done what I would just wanted to say like half of it, because I'm still yet to understand the Senate of International Relations why this sub-Saharan African is falling to the military. Though the reasons why they strike is not far-fetched. We always said it all. Born to rule mentality, sit tight syndrome. You will be there 30 years, 40 years. As if now your papa get that, now your papa be the born that seed for. Why not just follow the constitution, follow the rules? And the ECOWAS will not say anything. What is wrong with ECOWAS? Why hasn't they made any decision in this issue? 6 African nations, or 5 or 6, have fallen to this thing. How many is left to? Okay, if that Benin has succeeded, it would have been 7. Who knows next? Because it's a kind of contagious this thing. When it first happened, was it in Burkina Faso? Then Niger followed, then Mali and all that. So if ECOWAS it's better they are scrapped. I don't see the need for ECOWAS. I don't see the need for AU. They're just nomenclature. They're just their answering names. What have they achieved? What is their main aim? Is it just to write WAEC? I don't understand. And whenever the coup take place, the next thing they will do is they communicate on that particular country. But when this seat-tight government, when this government, look at Tanzania. Do you know how many youths have been marked for execution? About something youths now have been marked for execution because they said it's treason. This woman, the president, said it's treason. So they're going to kill about 31 youths, except miracle happens. The ECOWAS will not say anything, but any day that woman is overthrown or taken away, they will communicate that country. So what is going on? Thank you. My name is Emeka.
Thank you, Emeka. Okay, that did not stay. Sorry about that. Hello. Yes, hello. Wow. Sorry, I don't even understand what happened there. Okay, hello. Hello.
Hello, Princess. Morning.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Sorry. Oh, God. Great job, the country, and it's a Luther Senator Basinjo, Princess.
Okay.
Barrister, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Abuja, Nigerian. Thank you. Based on the topic, you people are discussing a lot. People have been saying we have problem in the country, but you want to intervene in another country. It's the attitude of Mr. President already. So you want to invade another country when Donald Trump they want to invade your country. Although he has invaded his country.
Okay, pause. Can you pause? Can you pause so that we'll just take this quickly, then you continue.
Okay.
Say hello